Good morning, students. We continue with the lecture of chapter number 6 of Geography, Human Resources. We had discussed in the prior lecture on which factors does the distribution of population all over the world rely upon. So we discussed topography, climate, economic, cultural, water, minerals, so many factors we had discussed about, and how do they affect the people living in that particular area, whether or not people will like to live in that particular area. It depends on these particular factors. Let's go one step further and take up this topic today, population change. Now, population change means the increase or decrease in the number of people living throughout the world. Increase or decrease. How does the number of population, the number increase? That's obviously people taking birth. Like it's infants taking birth, it will increase. And if somebody dies, someone dies, people die, then it decreases. So that's the population change. Now there are many terminologies used in this particular topic. Under this particular topic, you need to know about each and every terminology. I've written down all the terminologies over here. Step by step, I'll tell you what it is. Now let's see firstly, how did population change take place right from the inception, where people started living in a very civilized manner. We're talking about 1800s. We're talking about that era. At that time, the population change, the population growth was very less. Not that children did not take birth, not that babies did not take birth. They did take birth, but they used to die a very early death. Now, what can be the possible cause over here which used to lead to their deaths, the deaths of the infants? Well, I would say at that time the farmers did not grow much of crops. Depending upon if I say the ratio of the crops being grown and the people living was very disbalanced. So the food supply was not enough for all the people living in the world. Moreover, there was no good health facility then as well. So when a mother would not eat proper diet when she is pregnant, and when she gives birth to a baby, the baby will be malnourished, the growth wouldn't have taken place good. So definitely the life expectancy, the number of years that person would live, or the baby would live, would be less. So at that time, because of all these problems, the population growth was very slow. Now as we proceeded further and we we developed so many things, the human resource developed so many things around the healthcare facilities, and farmers started growing much more harvest when compared to the prior harvest. So yield was high, and now they could produce enough food for the people living over there. Then slowly the population growth started increasing from 1 million to 3 million to 6 million. It kept on increasing when they got proper food and health care and all the facilities which were being provided to the mankind for the human resource to bud. Now, we need to understand over here, how do we calculate the population change? So, the first thing we are going to discuss about is birth rate. So, I'll tell you the process also. When a baby takes birth in a hospital, you get something called a birth certificate. That birth certificate is nothing but the registration of the name of the infant who has taken birth, and he will be or she will be enrolled in the population census. That means the number of people living in that particular, alive in that particular area. So as you register the baby's name and you get a birth certificate, it is now in the records that +1 addition has taken place in the population. Similarly, when a person dies, so birth rate would be per thousand, how many people have taken birth. Per thousand, so it is calculated on per thousand rate. Rate is calculated on per thousand. Death rate, if somebody dies, the same procedure happens. You need to have a death certificate issued by the municipal authorities. The doctor will certify the cause of the death, and then you will get a death certificate from there, and then that also is a subtraction in the population. So addition would be the birth rate and subtraction would be the death rate. That means the reduction in number or the increase in number in the population census. Now, this terminology, natural growth rate, is the subtraction between birth rate and death rate. If the birth rate is high and the death rate is low, then the natural growth rate would be going up. The graph would be going up. And if I reverse the order, if the death rate is more and the birth rate is less, then the graph of natural growth rate would go round. Here natural growth rate relates to the increase or decrease in the population. Remember that. We're not talking about anything else except for the population, the people living in the world. Now, not only the births and the deaths, even this affects, migration affects the number of people living also, like the population census. Migration is people moving in an area or out of an area. If people leave and go, and that particular area's population change would be less, and when people come to a particular area, that particular area's population number would increase. So migration also leads to the addition or subtraction in the population census in the number of people living in that particular area. Now, why would people leave a particular place and why would people come to a particular place? The only and only reason is economic change. If you're not having growth opportunities in your area, you can't earn much. What do? You go and explore places where there are business and economic activities. Growth is there, where you can go and earn a bread, earn a living over there. So people migrate from one place to another. Like typically Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. So from there people go to Bombay. They go to various parts of India and they start living over there because they have more employment opportunities. So Bihar's population would decrease because of migration, and say supposedly we take example of Bombay, because maximum people go over there, only Mumbai. So Mumbai's population would increase because of migration. Now not only these people, those people who migrate, there is one more movement which is connected to international movement. Now we were talking within the country. Now we're talking about from country to country. Now these are the terminologies to be taken care of. Immigrants are those people who leave their country and go away. The same reason. It will be economic factors only leading to this particular movement as well. If they get a better opportunity to work outside and earn a handsome salary, or they have business opportunities outside, they would leave. So emigration is the process of leaving your own country and going and settling outside. Okay, so Sudan is the best example. Sudan had less resources. So this particular place, many of them moved away from the country. So that process was called emigration. So emigrants were more in number. So Sudan's population went down because most of the people left the country and went away somewhere else. Immigrants. Now this is emi and this is immigrants. Now immigrants means a particular country receiving more and more people coming over there. That process where the people are flying in to get the max benefit of economic growth over there, or for their own upliftment, for their own careers upliftment. So these countries are, the process is called immigration. Immigration is again when people from outside come into your country and settle down to take the profitable benefits available over there. So the best examples are USA and Australia. USA has got many Indians. USA is a combination of many people from outside came over there and are living over there. Are now they have got the citizenship also over there. But that particular area is because it's a developed country. People from underdeveloped and developing country might move away, immigrate to other countries which are developed. So USA is a developed country, so people go over there and it has got the maximum number of immigrants. Now, one last topic to be discussed is life expectancy. Now, how this is calculated, I'll let you know. So, like we see how many people are dying, okay, in an area, how many people are dying, and what is the age at which they died. So, all the ages are added and then divided by the number of people who died. Okay, their ages, the people who died. So, there comes an age which is an average of all the ages of people who had died. So that average number is the life expectancy. That means you can say in India the life expectancy is 65 years. That means maximum people live till 65 and then after that maximum deaths take place. So that's how life expectancy also depends upon what facilities you get from the government, what kind of food you're eating, what kind of environment you're living in. Is it pollution free or there's a lot of pollution? If I talk about life expectancy in Delhi and other metropolitan cities, obviously it will be less because the amount of smoke you're inhaling is a lot. That is what, when we talk about China, the life expectancy would be very high. The people who touch almost 100 years over there, because the food they eat is only it's only boiled and they don't eat much of oil. So their food habits also play a major role in the life expectancy. So that was the entire scenario of population change, the particular terminologies used and what affects the population change, what had affected and what will affect, everything comes under this particular scanner. Read your text well. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. Good morning and thank you. That's all for today.